Well, hello, good people. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. So it is actually early. Actually, my morning video is just uploading. I'm here in the workshop trying to get ready for, get stuff out that's due for people and things, and get ready for our trip to Texas. I'm looking forward to it, and I wish that I was going to be meeting Stewart, but unfortunately couldn't do it. But I'm going to do what I said I was going to do. Apparently, Deebo Samuels is going to do what he said he wasn't going to do. You remember Deebo, who was in the nightclub and all that, and people were saying, Deebo, stay here. And he's like, nope, not going to happen. You know, we saw him a week ago with Dak Prescott at the fights or whatever it was down in Dallas and things, and he hasn't shown up for OTAs or anything else. Well, here's the interesting thing, and we're going to find out this with Dalton Schultz coming up too, because it's one thing to miss, voluntary workouts. It's another when you miss actually team workouts. That's a big difference here, because when it's mandatory, it costs you money. And here's the reality of the NFL, because the NFL, this isn't their first rodeo. When they redid the the CBA, they made sure they covered their ass. They were going to make sure that they aren't held hostage by players. They got the leverage to be able to basically tell you, there's nothing you can do because you signed a contract. You're drafted as a rookie. You are slotted in here. This is all you're going to make. We own your rights for 3 or 4 or 5 years, depending on where you're drafted, that we have all the advantage. And especially since most players' careers kind of end in about 3 years, they don't pay guys a whole lot of money. They just don't. They're smart. It's not great if you're the players that you kind of get hosed, especially running backs, because generally speaking, you don't get a whole lot of money because you're not drafted that high per se, and you're not getting the big second contract. You're just screwed. So here's where the rubber meets the road. Deebo Samuels is going to turn up for minicamp. He's showing up for minicamp. Aha. Interesting. See, and this is the thing. That mandatory, if you don't show up, it costs you. Now, what's interesting is there's a couple of people who the teams have said, you're excused from mandatory minicamp because their plans may not include them. One of those, who probably isn't ready to practice anyway, is Jimmy G. Because here's the thing. If you are looking to trade somebody or get rid of them, if they come to minicamp and get hurt, the trade value's gone, and you're on the chain for their salary. So when you hear a team say you're excused, with the exception of Gronk, the thing with Gronk is he puts out, well, I'm going to retire, because he just don't want to work out in the off season. So any hopes of the Cowboy fans out here, or anybody thinking that we're going to have a chance to get Deebo, you can put those to sleep now. You can let it rest. It's not going to happen. We're not getting Deebo, so it is what it is. But I want to tell you guys a couple of things, man. Lessons that I've learned. I'm up early because I went down to Smithsonian. There's a museum that we're going to be working on. I got to build a curb for a water system that's above the museum up in the attic, right across the street from the old executive office. Literally, it's like the White House is on the other side of the building we're working on. So I was up there at 7 o'clock this morning taking a look at that. Yesterday was a rough day. With this trip coming up, we have to, we only have a week. We've got to get there. We got to hit the ground running to try and get all the work done. And then we got to get back because the RV has to be turned back in the following Sunday. And people have to get back to work on Monday. So we don't have a lot of time, and we're going to try and fit in a lot of stuff. And for me, you guys know, keeping up with the Dallas Cowboys on YouTube is a full-time job. It really is. I could literally just say, I'm going to be down in my man cave and I'm going to be researching and videos all day long, every day, because there's always shit happening with the Cowboys. Let's be clear. We know that. With this, I have rental properties that we have to do work and stuff on and things. So my wife is actually down doing some work and stuff on one of them and things. And I've got to get down there because I've got to change some carpet and put down some flooring, and I've got to put some TV mounts. I got a lot of work to do. And so I need to go there. I got to go pick up carpet now and all the stuff I need to take down there. Go down there tomorrow morning, bust the hump Wednesday and Thursday, and come back Thursday night. Because Friday, my friend Brian Green's coming down, and we've got to get everything together. Basically, all the tools that I need to rebuild the house, I need to consolidate and make sure I have all that stuff together. So that way we're not saying, oh, where's the drill? Oh, where's the hammer? And not have something like happened yesterday. Yesterday was just a bad day. The bookcases that you guys remember me building, they came in, put yesterday morning, put the backing on them. I don't have Michael, but I got them loaded up on the truck. I drove an hour away to go install them, and I get there and I realize I don't have my batteries. All the tools I have, the majority of DeWalt tools that all run on these 60 volt batteries or the 20 volt batteries. You gotta have them. I love them because I don't need to have power. All I need is my batteries. And I've probably got about 15 or 20 batteries, and I did not have a single battery with me yesterday. So I get all the way there, and the bookcase has got to go upstairs, which I'm looking at the steps and things, and I'm like, I can't carry these upstairs by myself. I need Michael to come back anyway. So I have that problem. I have so many great fans out there that have done so much to help me. And one of those is Joseph Heatherly. Joseph Heatherly has been there for a long time. Joseph Heatherly has come and stayed at my house, just like Law Nation, just like Bosch Lombardi and things like that. And for his wife, you guys will see me working on this piece. This piece right here, this is Serenity Park. She's got, he's built a park for his wife at his house. And so I'm making the sign. When I did the sign yesterday, I poured the epoxy, and because time is short and I've got so much to do, I did what I wasn't supposed to do. With this epoxy resin, you end up pouring it and you get air bubbles, and you take the heat gun, and the heat gun ends up bringing the bubbles to the surface, but you have to be careful that you don't overheat it. And sometimes if you have porous wood, there's oxygen inside of the wood that as it gets heated up, just start releasing. And it's a delicate dance between the bubbles coming up and being able to go through before it sets and not. So I poured the whole thing. What you really should have done, or I really should have done, was mixed up just a little and put a thin layer on it, let it sit for about 6 hours or so, and then pour it, because that seals it up. I didn't do that. I said, I'm going to pour the whole thing. And it looked great at first, but the bubbles kept coming. They just kept coming and coming and coming. And I kept trying to get it out, but you could see that it was literally not going to be able to come out because it was getting hard and couldn't get through it. So then I panicked. I took my chisel and I'm trying to scoop down and try and get the bubbles out. And I'm looking at this, and it's such an emotional day because it's the day after Stuart passed, and I'd gotten used to talking to Stuart every day. It's the pressure of knowing that I got to get down the country and do this work before I go, that I'm trying to get all these pieces made that I need to sand. That's Stuart right there. Sand and varnish and stuff, because I want to give some of these to his family members, and I'm trying to give away pieces for fans as well that have supported this whole thing. So I got the pressure of trying to get this stuff built in the shop, and going downtown and looking at this job where I got to do this thing because they need to get this water system put in, and until they get this basic shower pan, so to speak, on there, they can't use it. And this is a museum that, there's $1 million pieces that are below it. So I got to do that. And I got so flustered yesterday, I broke down and I called Joseph. And I was like, Joseph, because Maya's birthday party is like the 27th, and I need to get this to Arizona. And so I was trying to get yesterday's side poured yesterday, and then I flip it over and do this side today. I go down the country, do the work I need to do, come back, finish it up, get it in the mail on Friday before we go. I broke down. I broke down on the phone with Joseph because I'm like, Joseph, I effed it up. I screwed the damn thing up. I don't know what to do. And the thing about this is a one-of-a-kind piece of wood that I cannot get again. This is a piece of antique heart pine that is literally 14 inches wide. This is about 200-year-old wood. This is the original cuts of the wood. I need to get that off it. But that's the original wood. And I was doing this to be special. I don't have any more of this. And so I'm getting long-winded. I apologize. Joseph was like, it's okay. He said, worst comes to worst. We just blank out the other side. You got so much that's going on. Take a deep breath. Just step away from it. Just leave it. Don't worry about it. We're cool. He's like, in the grand scheme of things of what you're doing for Stuart and his family, that's important. He said, mine doesn't really go out to the park out there in the backyard anyway that often. It'll be cool. It's okay. And he really comforted me because I really needed it, because it's been rough. And it's just like I feel like there's so much pressure to do things. And I have so many people that depend on me. And sometimes I just don't know what to do. So I got up this morning, been downtown, done my morning video. It's uploading now. And I came in here and I just started sanding it. And, it looks cloudy, of course, right now because that's what I've sanded. But I've sanded it down enough to where all the bubbles are. And, And I'm going to be able to save it. So the moral of this is sometimes when shit hits the fan, when you're lost, take a deep breath, step away, leave it alone, come back to it another time, and you might not be as bad as you think. And that works. So shout out to you, Joseph. I'm going to get ready to re-pour this, and hopefully I'll get it right this time and won't mess it up. Hope you guys are having a great day, and I'll see you later.